Man at his birth is supple and tender, but in death he is rigid and hard. Thus suppleness and tenderness are the marks of life, and rigidity and hardness the marks of death. Tao is always gentle, you see, always yielding. It is feminine, in a way. Lao Tzu says, although you may be a male, always have a certain feminine quality, and thus you will become a universal channel. That has particularly to be learned by men in the United States, who tend to overcompensate masculinity, to be ashamed of gentleness, and to emphasize a kind of attitude to life, which usually indicates a fear of incipient homosexuality. And as a result, we have a lot of misunderstanding between men and women, because each one is so busy being their particular sex that they have nothing in common. So this idea then is the strength of gentleness. And of course it is ultimately on this philosophy that the Japanese worked out the science of judo. Do is the way the Japanese pronounce Dao. Ju means gentle. Judo, the gentle way, whereby a strong man is alarmingly defeated by the use of his own strength against himself. But if, for a change, we would allow our feelings and look upon their comings and goings as something as beautiful and as natural and necessary as changes in the weather, the going of night and day, and of the four seasons, we would be at peace with ourselves. Because what is problematic for Western man is not so much his struggles with other people and their needs and their problems, as his struggle with his own feelings, with what he will allow himself to feel and what he won't allow himself to feel. He's ashamed to feel really profoundly sad, so much so that he could cry. It is not manly to cry. He is ashamed to loathe somebody, because you are not supposed to hate people. He's ashamed to be so overcome with the beauty of something, whether it be a natural landscape or a member of the opposite sex, that he goes out of his mind with this beauty. Because all that kind of thing is not being in control, old boy, not kind of having your hand on the wheel. And then, if you've read an article in Look this week by Marshall McLuhan and George Leonard on sex, the future of sex, fantastic, brings up some information that what they call the narrow gauge specialized male, that is the sort of guy who gets out there and sells, you know, and he mustn't have any feelings, because that would be unmanly to have any feelings, except he kind of a gruff. But so many of these men are like that, and it says that role playing of that kind of male gives you ulcers and all kinds of complaints, and is more deadly than facing the bullets in Vietnam. And they all die before their wives, because they are engaged in the pursuit of a completely fatuous goal. This fatuous goal is the future, and it is symbolized above all by money. They make lots of it, and have much more than they can even think about. And they have no idea what to do with it, except make more, except invest it in bigger and bigger units of something. And while they are harassed about that, they're wondering everything about the antitrust boys, the internal revenue, their competitors, and all these ghouls who are involved in the game. They lie awake nights. They can't go home and throw the whole thing out. They have to get completely boozed. That's one way out. Or tranquilized, which is another way out. Or something or other. In order to take it. And they call themselves realists. You see, they're utterly unrelated to the physical universe. This is partly, of course, because of the education they've received. You see, if you go to an ordinary school, such as we've had since the early 19th century, you discover that your education is purely cerebral. You are prepared to be an executive, a bureaucrat, some kind of Turk. And so we get a culture based on the idea of the war between man and nature. And we talk about the conquest of space, the conquest of Everest. And the great symbols of our culture are the rocket and the bulldozer. The rocket, you know, compensation for the sexually inadequate male.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. And that, of course, was the guru, Alan Watts. And, yeah. Meant to go live earlier, but was kind of caught up, busy and stuff. Was good chemtrail, was good cuts, RDX, John Doe, and everybody else. Much love to y'all. Won't be a long live stream, just be a quick one. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if we're good.
Especially in the WASP culture of the United States, we define manliness in terms of aggression. You see, because we're a little bit frightened as to whether we are really men. And so we put on this great show of being a tough guy. It's completely unnecessary. If you have what it takes, you don't need to put on that show. You don't need to beat nature into submission. Why be hostile to nature? Because after all, you are a symptom of nature. You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree.
So shout out to all you guys. And, the topic today is, I added some to it because, it all fits together. But something that they're bringing back, as I was doing some research and I started seeing it more and more pop up, was they're bringing back male supremacy again. They're really bringing back male supremacy, guys. You can see it all around. Like when Joe Biden dies, because he will be dead, he's gonna die, and Kamala Harris, for a brief period of time, will be the president, and it's actually fitting for white supremacy, male supremacy, and all the other things that everything stands for. This is gonna be a real telling time, this 2024. Kamala Harris is just most of us know this is gonna happen anyway. It's like you don't even really have to put a thought. Even the sleep sheep knows he's gonna die. He's gonna die before he's out, and the woman will be in there for a short period of time. And as you see more and more, they wanna push this male supremacy. It's good, G-Code. Along with all the other supremacies and all the other agendas. And this is when I always come on here and say this. They're going to hit us in every aspect of their life. After I got off the stream yesterday, it was a beautiful thing because I went in to get a haircut, and they were talking about literally what I was literally talking about when it goes to, the whole, the man and woman stuff, because uh this right here, you know, as I was looking up some things, oh man, it's not even here. Where'd it go? Oh, these are the things right here. Boom. Male supremacy, right? Male supremacy is the thing that they're pushing. And you could see them leaning more and more towards that. You see more women, like I said, refs, which is nothing wrong with it, but like everything, it's always a bad side to the shit they're trying to do, because they're going to use all these things to manipulate the masses, right? This is how they're going to get you, right? Because they want to paint a picture of male supremacy. They did this back in the 70s, in a sense, you know. So you have this male supremacy stuff. And Um, what is this for? Well, it's easy. When you come home one day and your woman, you're like, what the fuck's wrong with her? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Well, these devices, which are the number one toxic fucking things in our existence right now, the internet, the TV, because they're going to be pumping us through all that hard body. They may be suggesting things to me, I mean, men and women at the same time, to create this division, to create this divide. But you may be with your woman when they run this. They will be getting things that pertain, that are fed to them on their social media, everything. If they're on these devices, that is going to suggest certain things, certain stories. They're going to be things that you never will see on your end, because they do have each and everyone's device picked to their personalization, right? Their phones are personalized to the mindset of that individual, right? And I knew this years ago. This is why, there's things that I don't see, because I know not to click on it, not to watch it, nothing, you know. But anyways, they will be sending these things through these devices, and all of a sudden, your friends will be like, "Yo, man, yo, what the fuck's going on, man? This their trip." You'll see couples start arguing and beefing. You're not gonna know why. You're gonna be like, "Wow, what is going the fuck on?" Male supremacy, right? Think about it. They are pushing so many things, man. And this is just last time I checked, the Southern Poverty Law Center was probably back in April. This wasn't here, you know. This was not here on the hate on. I always check in, because they be running shit right through this SPLC. Southern Poverty, they be running stuff right to this. This is their little, this is their little game token. I wonder if it's still attached to Act Blue. I'm not even sure. Could be, you know. You know. So, and you see it more and more, and these things are a thing that they are going to be ramping up, and they're going to be pushing, you know. And you could just see it lurking and leaching in. And what is it to do? Well, one of the things to do is to bring a certain energy to the forefront and suppress another energy. You know, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Checking something out real quick. Okay, yeah, it is. It is. I was just checking to see if the Southern Poverty Law Center still connects to Act Blue, and it does, which funds all these, movements and organizations. I mean, it's a big ass network. I've done videos on it in the past. What's good, Mafticon? So, um, yeah, seeing all this stuff, and you got this one: human rights, male supremacy, misogyny, mainstream extremism through local governments. You got this one. Look at this one. Popped up in the news back in September. Israel's secular revolt against Jewish and male supremacy. So these things are starting to come forward and being pulled in, because they're, again, it's all this energy, man, and it's division, and it's to get people fighting. It's it's so many things that are so deep, and that they're pulling through to fuck with our spirits, because again, it's a spiritual warfare. Um, hold on. Another thing I had here. Hold on. Okay. And um yeah. So that's another thing is the man and woman, and the X chromosome is a woman. The man chromosome is XY, right? So think about that. The Y chromosome is present in male, but the female has X chromosomes. What are we going to in 2024? The eclipse X, right? These are things to think about, and you're seeing the eclipse here in Rochester. I saw them advertise it. I saw it advertised in Seattle news and in Carolina news. Same shit. But it was like a bunch of women that were already talking about this eclipse and how great it is, and about embracing the energy and the signal of the feminine, because they're spinning an astrological piece, which it is correct, but it's wicked. I'm gonna do a video on it, and it's not wicked. It's actually beautiful, but the way they're trying to spin it and twist it and use this energy is actually pretty wicked. So, um, you know, this stuff like was just been ringing a bell the past, 24 hours, and I'm going to read, the definitions they got of male supremacy. Um, Male supremacy and what they say male supremacy is. And, you know, male supremacy. Male supremacists view women as genetically inferior, manipulative, and stupid. Think about that. Think about it. Many male supremacists reduce women to their reproductive function. Like, listen to this, because they know we are coming, and women are coming to this. Women are coming to these waking up and realizing, you know what, I need to be a fucking woman again. All right. They see this stuff coming. This is why they need to usher in this energy, because they see the woman who woke up, who is getting back to their womanhood, who is actually embracing the stuff of the women. So don't get it twisted. It's not all. it's not all women and all men. But then on the flip side of that, same thing with the male. They got men that are not embracing the feminine side. That's why I played that video. They're men who, because this whole movements are coming, and this is why they're doing it, is because they want to have a male that has all this energy, because guess what? He'll destroy himself, because he cannot understand, and he does not understand his emotions. He doesn't understand himself. So with him having all this stuff and his whole belief of what being masculine is being manipulated as well, and that man will destroy himself, right? I mean, stuff is pretty it's pretty wicked, man. It is pretty wicked. But hold on, I gotta take one quick break. I'm gonna play this. I gotta take one quick break because I am out and about, moving around and stuff. So hold on, I gotta take one quick break. Well, never mind. I don't gotta do that. So, but let me put some tunes on real quick. But yeah. So again, I mean, these people are pushing this. So why is this one so dangerous? Is because it fits into the parental rights um movement, stripping movement. Hold on one second, guys. And by them pushing male supremacy, all right, one of the other takes on male supremacy is they say male supremacy are more likely to be gun fanatics. Think about it. These are the words they're saying. They're more likely to be gun fanatics. They're the ones that are more likely to be for violence, for war. Think about when they're saying this, and you already know they ain't pitching none of this shit to us. But who are they pitching this shit to? You already know. Same ones that I posted a video yesterday. Same people I've been talking about for how long now? The same fucking people that I've been talking about for all this time. You know, that's who they're pitching this shit to. You got white supremacy. Now you got male supremacy, because they know in order to take down a nation and men and family is destroy the woman. The whole target is to destroy the woman. And how do they do that? They want to destroy the woman because the woman is a foundation of the man. Ain't that crazy? They want to tear the foundation out. They doing a good job at that shit. You know? Ironically, as soon as I got off the stream, that's exactly the conversation that was going on in the barbershop. You know? And I was in there for like 2 hours, dropping some jewels and I'm like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know? Because just like they said, a guy like me um, saying a simple thing like this, male supremacists view women as genetically inferior, right? What I mean, what you don't view that as, but genetically, if you look at, I mean, this science have said this for eons. Women are not as strong as man as far as physical aspects. Mentally, they probably are, but we both share the same traits, right? So women aren't as strong as men physically, but they're stronger than men in other areas. See, this is the whole thing, you know? And there will be some people that get mad at just because of what I'm saying, because this has been indoctrinated in them already to have these thoughts, you know? I've met women who've woken up to this shit, and they understand this shit clearly and totally, you know, and they're hated by these type of women with these ideologies. You know, they have that same shit. Like there's a huge battle going on with women with each other because a woman wants to be a woman again. And they're like, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. Or da da da, or this and that, da da da. There's been so much division on that already during all this awakening up. A lot of women have understood that, you know what? That's so fucking right. You know? And a lot of men have also understood these traits too. You know? I don't want to dominate no women. There's men out there that want to dominate a woman and fucking, you know, tell her to do this and she needs to do that, do that. No, you don't do no shit like that. It's a mutual understanding because a woman complements a man that complements a woman. It's a yin and yang perfect balance. I mean, what is, you know? That's how the yin and yang works. They both complement each other. When one's down, the other one picks the other one up and vice versa. That's how it works. You know, they created all this other dumb shit. You know, is a woman supposed to be out there working? Fuck no. That right there takes away her womanhood, her energy from being a nurturing caregiver, right? Caregiver. It isn't slavery and being subservient or whatever the fuck, like a slave. Nah, that's what women are. That's what their specialty is. Their specialty is nurturing children, nurturing men, nurturing, you know, food. Believe it or not, food takes nurturing. That's why, you know, a beautiful woman, her food is going to be good. You know, beautiful woman, beautiful heart, that food is going to be good all the time. You know, you could know, say, damn, food is kind of off today. Say, hey, you feeling okay? Oh, you know, something, yeah, I know. How do you know? Well, you know, what you cook, you know, I can feel it through the food. Like, people don't understand that. That's how powerful energy is, you know? And, you know, these are the things that men and women are together. There's no one above the other. They put pitching the whole thing, oh, you could be equal to a man in a different sense. See, they push that shit. Yeah, you can be equal to a man, of course. But they push it in a different light. Like, oh, you should be working. Oh, you should be doing this. And oh, you know, you should be taking care of your kids. And they push single motherhood and they push all this other shit. And then you can't, this is why I know that whole system is flawed. So can't nobody come and tell me shit because I done been through it. And I ain't talking about I'm talking about Buffalo last year, shit hit the fan. I went to go help Buffalo, and I had over 200 women in 5 fucking minutes that needed fucking help. Okay, so that whole ideology is flawed. That I don't need a man. I made plenty of videos about it within the past since then. You know, that I don't need a man mentality. Oh, that shit is for the birds. Because when shit hits the fan, oh, they need a man. You know, now they looking for men to come help them. You know, they don't feel safe alone in the house by themselves with the kids. Ain't no food. Food running out. They can't get out of the house. They need this. They need help. They need a muscular, physical man. Somebody, they need help moving their relative. They can't lift them. They need a man to help plow 8 feet of snow out of the fucking way. They can't do it. You know? They need a ride here. They need to get help over here. They looking for men. They ain't looking for no fucking woman. They ain't out there saying, look, I need a woman to come help me. They was looking for men. I was blown the fuck away. I was blown away. You know? Blown the fuck away. I was blown away, guys. Blown away. You know how many men hit me up? A lot. But guess what they were doing? Helping. Helping. You know, there was older guys that couldn't help themselves, you know, handicapped, shit like that. But it was over 200 women in 5 minutes. And all day, I had to turn my shit off and say, I'm sorry. Take me 2 hours to get 3 miles. I can only do so much. I'll pass it on in the group to other people. And then I had stayed in contact with a lot of people till they got help. I mean, that shit was one of the biggest eye openers ever. It's going through that shit, helping people out. So that I don't need a man shit, that's an ideology and that's flawed, and people better wake the fuck up and get with it. You know, this society pushes narcissism, right? And that's a part of it. Narcissistic men and women. Men want to be all tough, right? No, you got to be gentle. You got to have a heart. You got to cry with your girl. You got to love your girl. You got to hug your girl. You got to show your feelings. That's what the fuck they want. Why you think they go to the other sex? I mean, come on, man. You got to say, hey, you okay? You know, what's going on? You got to communicate. Women love communication. You know, remember, they're nurturers. What the fuck they need? Nurturing. Duh. If they're nurturers, they're putting out that energy. They need the shit back. You know, and then the men that sit there and they're like, oh, you know, I do this and do that, you know, she need to be doing this. No, man, that's shit. Keep that keep that thought up if you want to, you know? Keep that thought up if you want to. And then on the flip side of that, you can be that way, and then the woman could reject that because they got too much masculine energy into them. They've been they've been the single mom too long, or they've been doing the job too long, and that shit is embedded with them. Therefore, they can't bond with you because they got this guard up, you know. On top of that, they got their other man, the government. So at the end of the day, real, men and real women, they got a lot of shit to deal with, you know. They got a lot of shit to deal with because how you gonna compete with a woman that has a man already? And I break this down to people all the time. They don't need you. You don't want a woman that just needs you for some loving and that's it, some company. Nah, man. You need a woman because you need one, and that woman needs you because she needs the man, the energy. That's all it is. You know, that's the real relationship is when the energy is right, when it's balanced out perfectly. And it ain't never perfect. There will be problems, but you got to know, okay, my imperfections and her imperfections, we're going to build each other up, you know? Because at the end of the day, if ain't shit happening, ain't nothing to ever argue about. There never is nothing to argue about. You create the fucking arguments, you know? So they're going to push this shit, and it's going to be a lot of motherfuckers being like, yo, man, I'm having problems with my girl, and I'm having problems with my man, and this and that. Well, you know what's going on. And I've been helping people out for years, you know, because I done been through a whole lot of shit. And the people like, whoa, you go through all this. Well, the best people that give the best advice is the ones that have been through fucked up relationships. How the fuck is anybody that's been married for so many years gonna give you any fucking advice? They can't give you no advice. That's a facade. Oh, I've been married 30 years, man. Yeah. Yeah, start breaking them down. Yeah, when's the last time you and your wife were, did this or did that? Oh, yeah, well, you got a point there. Nah, see, no. Y'all just people just together, you know? So let me know if y'all can hear me, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me, guys. And this is a topic that a lot of people they don't like to talk about it. Me, I don't give a fuck. I talk about it all the time. I don't care about that shit. You know, I'll talk about it all the time because it just is what it is. I don't know everything. I just know some things, and some things can help somebody know some other thing. You know, that's all we about. We just here sharing information. You know, so all right, thanks, TVP, TVS now. So I mean, this is what they're gonna push, and people are gonna have a lot of fucking problems because They know how to manipulate people. When they start suggesting all these different things to women, right? And then at the same time to men, think about the movies that don't come out. Think about the movies that they're going to bring out. Think about all the internet shit. Think about the talking pieces they're going to bring out, what they're going to do in society. They will be suggesting all this shit to men and women across this fruited plain to create division, to further break us apart, break us down, right? Because this is what they need to do, man. And the thing about it, it's going to enrage some men who don't understand their energy. I ain't going to be mad. I'm just going to teach people about it. I ain't mad at all. I don't give a fuck. You know, I know when somebody's got too much going on, too much fake masculine energy, but the reality is it's not masculine. It's actually feminine energy, but it's being used in the physical manifestation of a woman. You know, it just is what it is. Feelings and emotions, right? Those in society have turned into violence, derogatory, you know, statements, uh, insulting people and all kind of shit, right? That is transmuted feminine energy in men that does not know how to express themselves with that beautiful energy, emotions, and feelings. They mask it by doing shit like that, by being, argumentative, being vulgar, being, uh, you know, stubborn, shit like that. It's fucked up, twisted energy, right? And the same thing goes for women. So a lot of women have the same, too much masculine energy, right? And they're bucking up and they're like a damn man, you know but they got the transmuted energy wrong. They have the masculine energy they embodied, but it's coming out in the wrong way. you know it's coming out in the wrong way, and it's wild. They're gonna push like the way they're and then they're gonna push it through the rainbow, so that makes it even more fucked up. Like, this is some gonna be some crazy shit, man. It's already happened, right? But anyways, um right, many male supremacists reduce women to the reproductive function, simultaneously shaming women for having sex while believing that sex is something women owe men or that should even be coerced out of them, right? Adherents of this ideology are fixated on rigid gender roles and vilify any deviation from their strict gender dichotomy, seamlessly weaving together misogyny, transphobia, and homophobia. This is what they are pushing, guys. Male supremacists believe that they are victim of an oppressive feminist system that has unjustly deprived them of their rightful place in society. Many adherents subscribe to anti Semitism to explain this phenomenon, believing feminism is a Jewish invention. Male supremacy is a powerful undercurrent for white supremacy. Ain't that crazy how they're doing this shit? And its tenets unrigid, under, under, what the fuck? Undergird, undergird much of the contemporary far right, right? While male supremacy is often seen as secondary, if it's seen at all, it is important to recognize it as a toxic and dangerous ideology in and of itself. So think about this shit. This is why censorship is going where it's going. Like, they're backing and trying to put us into corners that we don't even fucking understand. You know? Think about what they're saying. Dangerous ideology. That's why it's just like this is a hate group. Like, people that just talk about stuff like this and want women to be women and know what's going on are going to be considered hate speech. right? Many male supremacists have openly called for and carried out acts of physical and sexual violence against women, as well as violence targeting society. That's why if you go to the doctors in Rochester area, I don't know about anywhere else, they pull the woman aside and say, "Are you being beaten, abused? Are you being harmed? Are you afraid?" Like they're doing this already. They're doing this already. And my girl had to go to the fucking doctor, and they had did this to her. She was so fucking terrified. She was texting me like, "Yo," I had to be like, "Yo, what is going on? I need to go back there." "Oh, she'll be right with you in a minute." And I'm like, "What the fuck? What do you mean?" She's fucking terrified. She's ready to leave. "Oh, hold on, hold on." And they're like, "Oh, well, we just always have to ask these questions." She ain't from here. She don't know. She like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on?" Like, this is some weird shit to her. Like, she ain't never experienced no shit like that. You know? She said she ain't never going back to the motherfucking American doctors ever again in her life. And I said, now you know why. You know? Because this is what the system we're in. The whole system is set up in this way. That's fucked up. And I had to call my aunt and check. And then it's just funny. She was like, "Yeah, they do that." I'm like, "What?" And then it's funny. A week later, she had to go to the doctor for her ankle, and she laughed. She was like, "We've been married for 40, for almost 40 years, and they asked me the same question." I'm like, "Wow, this is the place that we're in, and this is what they do, man. This is what they're doing. Ain't that crazy? Crazy." But think about this, man. Right? As in previous years, male supremacist groups continue to congregate primarily online. There we go, online, operating within a manosphere. Manosphere. Like, look at these words they're using, guys. Manosphere. That's what I said, man. Watch the news so you know what kind of shit is coming. Manosphere, a collection of websites, blog, and online forums. Male supremacy is a decentralized movement that uses a model of leaderless resistance. As a result, the SPLC lists only a small number of male supremacist groups, reflecting only their lack of in person activities and not their influence on a threat level. Wow. Several key influential figures use mainstream platforms to promote their hateful message and recruit and radicalize others. You know who's on this? Kevin Samuels is on this fucking male supremacist shit. Kevin Samuels. Samuels. I never heard of the dude till he was died or whatever. Right? Crazy, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. In 2022, at least two men cited their failure to get a girlfriend as part of their own motivation to commit their fatal attacks on the public. Right? These incidents took place in Bend, Oregon. Right? St. Louis, Missouri accounted for 6 deaths, including both shooters. We already know. Just like the one today, 33-year-old, right? We already know, 33-year-old guy. His fucking name is Mad. Has the word mad in it. Hey, Blink, what's good? We were just talking about you the other day. There's Miss Blink. Shout out to Miss Blink. Yeah, they've been asking that question for years. You're right. Hmm. So that just like that shooter, right? That shooter, point blank period. Right? The suspect, 33-year-old. We already know all the signs. 33-year-old, right? We know what time it is. Way to fuck up in no man's land, Concord, New Hampshire, right? Shoots a retired police officer. We already know where that'll lead to, some secret society, right? And his name is John Mador. Mad, M-A-D, right? He was homeless, spent time in a hotel, right? And even have the Concord, right? It's Concord, right? And again, Concord, CC, 33, New Hampshire, right? John Mador. And then he had a fucking U-Haul truck. We already know what time it is. A fucking U-Haul truck. And obviously the 63-year-old was killed, 6'3", I mean, this shit is crazy, man. But I'm going to do more on this. I just had to get in and I wanted to do this stream. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. But you'll be hearing more about male supremacy going forward because Donald Trump is under this. Ron DeSantis is under this. There's Farrakhan is under this shit. That, like I said, Kevin Samuels was under this shit. There's another celebrity I came across is under this shit. They got him listed as a male supremacist. You're going to hear a lot more. It's involved and intertwined with the stuff that's going on in Israel. And when Joe Biden croaks, right, Kamala Harris is going to be the president for a short time to really push that shit. Everybody. Talk to you later.